Rave TV. Download the Rave TV app on iOS, Windows, and Android to view us on the go. Rave TV. So exciting.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is Your Business, and of course, I'm still your host, Cyndy Eze. Now, this is a part where we get to talk, discuss, and of course, you get to call in to make your contributions and ask your questions. Today, the topic is to earn more, read more. We're going to be emphasizing the importance of reading. How many of us have actually read a book this year? So many of us. In fact, let me not go too far, myself inclusive. So today, we're going to look at the importance of reading. You know, to become profitable, you have to read. It's very, very important. And I'm going to be speaking with the co-founder of Faith Things Resources. She is an author, a reading coach, and an e-library consultant. She is no other person than Mrs. Ogo Ogbueli. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sydney.
Good to have you.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure being here.
Again, you were once here.
Yes.
So this is the second time.
Yes.
Yes, I'm honored to have you in the show with me this morning. And of course, talking about this very important aspect of our lives that we often ignore, reading.
Reading.
Yes. Because we don't see the direct relationship with the money coming in, you know, but sort of it has proven and it has shown to be very important, you know, because the great men and women out there get to read. All right, I think it's time we hear from you. Enough of my talking. So what is reading? Why read?
Okay, from my personal definition, reading is the process of combining alphabet sounds to make words that make sense. You know, it starts from the foundation and it builds up to the knowledge. It's the process of, you know, acquiring knowledge, information, skills, ideas, concepts from a written text. That's simply what reading is all about.
Okay. So why is it important to read?
Okay, reading is so important because it gives you exposure. It teaches you so many things. You know, it helps you imagine. You know, you visit places just through a book. You learn skills. You learn values. You understand people better just by reading a book. You know, there are different, you know, types of books and different genres. But I believe today we are talking about books, inspirational books.
Yeah.
Like books that you can read to improve your business, to earn more. There's a relationship really between reading and earning. There's a real relationship between it.
Okay, let's first of all go around, you know, the importance of reading. We are going to try to establish that relationship, okay? Because someone out there may be wondering, you know, why should I read to earn? I mean, what's the relationship? Do you understand? Does it mean if I don't read, I wouldn't be able to sell, you know? So we need to establish that relationship. Yeah. But let's go ahead with, of course, the importance of reading, as you were enumerating.
Okay. One of the major importance of reading is that it empowers you. It empowers you. Reading can turn a mediocre person to a very, very successful, excellent person just by implementing the knowledge acquired. It's not just about reading, but implementing the knowledge acquired.
So how do you, okay, first of all, I want to ask this question because it bothers me sometimes, you know, how do you read? Do you read when you, for instance, you go on the road, you see a book and you just start reading it, or probably you have an issue with sales, or you have an issue with marketing, and you deliberately seek out those books to read. You know, when is the best time to read? When is the assimilation more when you read?
This is just a very good question because in business, you don't just read anything. You are very selective about what you read. You have to read things that add value to what you do, things that are related to your field. If I'm into communications and sales, it won't add value, so much value to me reading books just for entertainment. It will be much more valuable to me and my business when I read books related to my field on sales, because reading those books on sales, I'll be able to get strategies, get different ideas, get a perspective from the author. Because
get a perspective.
Yes, because most of these authors, they've tried out a lot of things, they failed, and then they sit down and write all their experiences in a book just for you to read. And just by reading that book alone, you'll be able to escape some of their mistakes and just apply the success part. That's why reading is so powerful, because it will save you time. The experimental time that you would have used to try and, trial and error, you just skip those time and go straight to the points and the information, you grab the information that works and apply. So you have to be selective based on your field and your interests.
So I must read, it's easier or better to read when I have the need to acquire that knowledge.
Not really when you have the need.
Okay.
You read, you constantly take in knowledge, because all the information you need is not in one book. It's like a puzzle, a jigsaw. You get a piece here, you get a piece here, you get a piece here. But when you fix it together, you get a full picture. So you don't just read one book and then gain all the knowledge about sales. You're just getting a perspective from that author. And then you read another, you get another, strategy. You read, you implement it. Oh, this thing. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. So that is the amazing thing about reading. You get ideas. There is no time I read that I don't, get an idea to implement immediately. It's not just about reading. It's about implementing whatever it is that you learned from the book. That's a major part.
So how do you move from reading to implementing? Because we're also going to discuss strategies of reading.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't know how to read. It's not as if you can't read A, B, C, okay? But you must read to implement, and it's a strategy.
Yeah.
Okay? So first of all, how do we implement what we read?
Okay. For example, you have a business and you've not been making sales in your business, and you want to know, how can I sell more? The first thing you do is try and get a book on sales. I learned that to be successful in a field that you are in, you must have read books as much as your age in that field to be very successful.
That's scary. I'm counting in my head already.
So to be successful in sales, you must have read books. If I'm 20 years old, at least 20 books. That will really stand me out, make me exceptional in that field, because I must have gathered a lot of information in that field. So you want to improve your sales, you just get a sales book. As you're reading the book, you're learning what the author did. Okay, this is because for you to pick up a sales book, it means that author must have been successful in selling.
For him to have written or how to have written.
So as you're reading, you're learning what the author did. Like someone said, success leaves clues. There is always a pathway to success. It's not hidden. You don't just arrive there. There is a pathway. And what successful people have done, if you do the same thing, you probably get the same results. So you're reading what the successful person, have done in the area of sales. You're getting ideas. Oh, okay, social media, I can talk to, people. Okay, every day they make sales call. They set a goal to call 100 people in a day and market their products. Oh, this is how they're able to, accomplish this. Okay, today I'm going to make a list of people I'm going to call, and I'm going to start calling them.
Deliberate action.
It's a deliberate action. You need to set goals, and then you need to work with the goals that you set.
Do I read every book? How do you know what books to read? How do you know what authors?
Well, you have to do your research, because in every field there are very successful people in that field. Thank God for Google. You can always Google best books on marketing or best books on public speaking. You definitely get them. You deliberately choose those books. Personally, as I read a book, I'll always go for maybe the most recommended. Then as I'm reading the book, the authors always mention some other authors that they've read. I quickly jot it down and search for those books. So if these successful people are reading these authors, then I should also, it will behoove me to also read the same books. So that is one of the ways I also get the books on a particular topic.
But is it necessary that someone be successful in a particular field before, having to write a book concerning that field?
What experience would you be sharing if you have not, succeeded in that area? Would you want to read a book written by someone that has not really made any sales and, just puts up information on sales? The spirit will not be in that. The spirit of that person will not be there. You're just sharing information. Most of these books, like, this is their life. They're sharing their life.
Sometimes they have scenarios too. I mean, yes. Okay.
So if you're not successful in an area, what would you share with me? What are those personal experiences that you share with me? You will only be sharing experiences of other people that have succeeded in it, and it's not authentic. It's not very authentic.
It looks definitely, and that way it looks it looks something like surreal. It doesn't look authentic and true.
It's not,
and it's not impactful at that stage.
It's not really. You just be getting the information, but the impactation. Reading is not just all about reading the written. There is that impactation. Like, this author is very good in this area, and you invest your time reading it. There is that impactation that comes with it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you just go with that spirit. Like someone like Brian Tracy that is into personal development. By the time you read 10, 20 of his books, you already have
at least I know one of his books, No Excuses.
No Excuses. Yes, it's a very good business book.
All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll be connecting reading to earning. Stay with me.
Thanks.
For me, television means being informed every day, everywhere, and anytime.
Having the ability to follow up on happenings in the world of politics, business, entertainment, and sports in real time.
With in-depth analysis on core issues.
During this pandemic, the world has shifted from the information age to now the digitalized age.
What they are doing there is just entertainment.
And the ability to also be part of the conversation.
I disagree with my sister that Mr. President is construction.
It's way more than a routine. It's a culture.
I love your program.
I greatly love all what you're talking about.
Great. Thank you for having me back.
And that's exactly what we need. It is more about you than us. At Rave Television, we provide you a platform to hear and be heard.
Welcome back. This is still your business, and of course, I'm your host, Cyndy Eze. Now, we're talking today of the importance of reading. To earn more, you have to read more. That's exactly our topic for today. So, this is a segment where we have the phone lines open. If you have any question or contribution, please feel free to get it coming in. We expect to hear from you. Our guest today is Mrs. Ogo Ogbueli. She's a reading consultant, and she has been telling us the benefits of reading thus far. All right, right now, let's talk about planning. How do you schedule your time to read? I mean, we are so busy. Do you understand? From morning till night, especially Lagos. You know how it is now. There's always something. You take up a book. How do you actually get to read that book? How do you schedule yourself? Because at the end of the day, you find out that you've not even read anything. You have it in mind, it's important, but you seem not to make time or be able to make time to read. So how can you plan yourself to read surrounded with the busy schedule that we seem to be?
Okay, so first of all, there are different methods and there are different strategies, and you always have to go with what works for you. There are some people that are very busy, they might not really have that time to sit down with a book and read. And it's not just about creating that 30 minutes. If you're very, very busy and you have just 30 minutes, you still need to bring yourself to that place of, concentration. And a lot of people may not have that time. So there are different options. You can either read a hard copy book, or you can do audio.
Which is better?
It depends on what works for you and your daily, plan. You can do audio. That's why we have Audible. You can do audio. You listen on the go, especially busy people. You can listen during traffic time. Personally, I use my traffic time to read. I tell people that I love traffic, and it's very strange because I use my traffic time to read. I do my audio reading. Some people prefer to read ebooks, so they can actually carry it about wherever they are, and they are reading. There are apps that can help you read. Maybe I'll share with you later. There is a particular app that can help you convert text to speech. So once you have the ebook, you just put it on that app, and it will read out to you as you're on the go. So you're really not missing out. The only thing is that you might not have that time to sit and jot things.
What about those of us, especially for me now, I prefer hard copy.
Then you have to create the time. The truth is that we always create time for what is important to us. If reading is very important, we will schedule time for it. We will schedule time for it. Some people, wake up early because their day is busy. They give themselves 30 minutes before their day begins just to read, or 1 hour. So if they
So it mustn't be, so I like what you just said now. It mustn't be like, 2 hours of reading.
No. You can start with 30 minutes, 20 minutes, a chapter a day. You make up your mind, I'm going to read a chapter. It starts with 1, settling the fact that reading is important. 2, setting your reading goal. Okay, every day I must read a chapter. Then you schedule a time for it. You look at your daily, activity, and there is no...
Okay, we have a caller. Good morning, Innocent. Good morning, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Innocent. Welcome to the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so much. All right, Innocent, go ahead with your question or your contribution.
Yes, I've been listening to your guest concerning the reading issue. I want to ask a question because most of the time, some people love to read. They love to read, but sometimes when you pick up a book, either audio or soft copy or hard copy book, you find out that if you're into the book, let's say 30 minutes, you fall asleep. So how can you tell yourself that I will not sleep while I read, either a hard copy book or a soft copy, either audio or electronic? So how will you tell yourself not to sleep while you read?
Sorry, hello, Innocent.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, take it again, please.
Okay, I said, how can we tell ourselves not to sleep while we read? Because when we pick up a book, when we are just a few minutes into reading the book, we just fall asleep. So how can we tell ourselves not to sleep while we read?
All right. Thank you so much, Innocent. Thank you. Thanks for always calling. Keep it up and keep watching the show. We enjoy hearing from you. Okay. Did you get it?
No, I didn't.
He said, he talked about sleeping.
Oh.
Yes. So how do you not sleep? A lot of people have that problem, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know people use use their book as sleeping pill once they want to.
Are you serious?
Yes. Once they want to sleep, they'll just open a book and
just sleep off.
So I think you don't just read because you want to read. You have to read books that interest you. If you're reading in the area that you're interested in, you will hardly fall asleep because you're gaining meaningful information in that area. But if you're just reading just for leisure or you're just reading a book because you saw the book, it can be very boring. But if you're reading based on your interest, it's hardly boring.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even want to sleep. You keep awake. I don't know if you've read books that the time is going, you know you have to sleep, but you can't just put this book down. I need to finish this book. I want to know the next thing that happened and the next point the author is going to make. So it has to do with reading books that are related to your interests.
What's the importance of jotting while you read?
Okay, it's so that there's so little that your brain can comprehend at one time, so that you don't lose the information. You can always go back and refresh your memory on the things that you have read. That's the major importance for reference.
For reference purpose.
Yes.
But this audio, that means audio reading, and also how do you get to still jot,
Okay, so personally, I use audio reading. You can either use to, gather information for a particular thing, maybe for a presentation or, something. In that case, you need to really sit down and write down your points. But if you're reading as a method to reprogram yourself in an area, if you're not strong in sales and you want to really get into the sales, path, because every skill can be learned.
Yeah.
You can read just to renew your mind in that area. Personally, I will just read. I may not be jotting down, but I'll constantly keep the resources on sales coming to my mind. It has a way of reprogramming my mind. It's reshaping my mindset. By the time I do that for like a month, it's an immersion process. You find yourself renewed in that area.
In a few seconds, let's connect the dots, reading and earning.
Okay. Oh, I think we've shared a bit about it.
Yes.
And one of the major ways that you can earn, through reading is, for an entrepreneur, the goal of every entrepreneur is to make profit. So even if you have an amazing idea, if you can't pass across that idea to a potential, a customer, the customer may not be able to patronize you to make sales. So for every entrepreneur, reading on sales and marketing is very key.
Yeah.
As you're reading on it, the first guest you had, she deals with beddings and all that. If I don't know about the business, if she can't tell me about the business, I'll probably not buy
from her.
If she doesn't have the skill to sell that business to me. Already I have beddings that I use in my house, but she has to have something extra to convince me to get from her. So when you read those sales books, you're getting ideas, different strategies that you can implement, how you can target other people, how you can, use referral system. Okay, your friend bought, how you can help tell your friend to convince a friend, you get those ideas just by reading.
All right, time is not really on our side. As usual, they say time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Ogo Ogbueli, the reading machine, I can call you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
We'll have you on the show some other time. Do have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're talking to Mr. Ogo Ogbueli, and of course, we're talking about reading and the importance of reading. Let's continue this conversation across all our social media handles at Rave TV channel, and of course, follow us on these handles as well. Don't forget to use the hashtag #YourBusiness. If you want to look for our preceding videos, simply go to YouTube and type the search word Rave TV Your Business, and of course, our videos will come up. All you need to do is select, like, share, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. Do have a wonderful day. But before we go, let me leave you with this nugget by Maya Angelou. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking the way you do what you do. So you need to understand that liking yourself, liking what you do, and the way you do what you do is important to succeed. Until tomorrow, when I come to your screens again, do have a wonderful business day as usual. And of course, always remember that your business is our business.